What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're doing my top 5 draft winners in this 2019 NFL draft. My top 5 winners. If you like this video, make sure you guys like the video. If you guys like the content, if you want to see more, make sure you subscribe for more. So before I get into the top 5, because I think there's a lot of winners in this draft, I'm going to start with the honorable mentions, and I have quite a few of honorable mentions. I want to get to the first one. The honorable mentions, by the way, are in no particular order whatsoever. And I'm going to start off with the Denver Broncos. They were able to get Drew Lock. A lot of people are saying that Daniel Jones was their guy. That's why they traded down from 10 to 20 to get Noah Fant. So they got Noah Fant, and then they got Dalton Risner at the 41st pick. And I thought that was a pretty good pick there by them. And then they got Drew Lock with their second round pick. So I like what they did there. I think towards the end it kind of gets a little questionable and really not making their team automatically better. Drew Lock was a great pick in the second round. Dalton Risner went about where he would go, but that being said, not enough for top 5. Then moving on, the Indianapolis Colts, they were able to get Rock Ya-Sin. They were able to get Paris Campbell. They were able to get a couple of guys on there that I really liked. So great job by the Indianapolis Colts, but just not enough for top 5. Then we look at the New York Jets, and they had a really good draft. It just could be a little bit questionable towards the back end. On top of that, with Ja'Kai Polite in the second round, a lot of people are saying he has a lot of off the field issues. They don't know if he's going to work out in the NFL. On top of that, they're saying he's very overrated as a player. They didn't have the most fantastic combine as well. So the second round pick, Ja'Kai Polite, could be a boom or bust type guy. But great, fantastic first pick. You got Quinnen Williams, and then in the third round you got Chuma Edoga, and then I believe they got another tight end later on as well, which I mean they draft tight ends almost every year, so they keep looking for their guy at tight end. But Chuma Edoga was a very good pick as well. That's why they made my honorable mention. Then we look at the Los Angeles Chargers, and they had a very good top-heavy draft. I really love what they did with Jerry Tillery. I mocked them to get Jerry Tillery a lot. A lot of people did that as well. So Jerry Tillery was a fantastic pick, going to be a fantastic addition to that front seven, along with Joey Bosa there and Melvin Ingram. And then you got NASIR Adderley. Oh my gosh, what a pairing with NASIR Adderley and Derwin James. That is a fantastic 2 picks right there. Absolutely fantastic. But then they go after Drue TRANQUILL out of Notre Dame. I believe out of Notre Dame, the linebacker. Not a big fan of him whatsoever. Really not. I think it was a little bit of a reach in the 4th round. And I think later on in the draft, I don't really think it helps them too much. They really didn't nail those 2 picks like they did in the beginning of the draft. They didn't nail all those other picks like they did with the 2 picks. So then moving on, we had the Los Angeles Rams, and boy, did they get a lot better. You're talking about a team with not too many needs on their team right now, and they're still able to get Taylor Rapp, who I think they can use just in a fantastic way. Taylor Rapp is an all-around type player. Then you got Darrell Henderson, similar to what they wanted to do with CJ Anderson and Todd Gurley. They're now going to get that with Darrell Henderson and Todd Gurley, so great matching there. And then David Long, a very underrated cornerback out of Michigan. And then in the 3rd round, they were able to get Bobby Evans, a tackle out of Oklahoma. So they were able to fill in a lot of their needs in the beginning of the rounds. And on top of that, they don't even have many needs to begin with. And they got Greg Gaines, the defensive tackle out of Washington as well. So they did very well. They did very well. On top of that, Dakota Allen, a lot of people are saying he was one of the top inside linebackers, just had a lot of off the field problems. He's making a comeback from like second chance U and stuff like that. He was on that show, or Last Chance U or something like that. And then he was drafted in the 7th round, so it could be a potential steal there in the 7th round for the Rams. And then my last honorable mention, probably one of my favorite honorable mentions, that's the Buffalo Bills. They were able to get Ed Oliver, the defensive tackle out of Houston, and then Cody Ford, who you could plug in at tackle or guard. They need help at both positions, so very good pick there. Someone that's very versatile. And then you got Devin Singletary, someone that can eventually replace LaShawn McCoy. And then Dawson Knox, the tight end out of Ole Miss. I like that pick a lot. And so that's why they made my honorable mention. So let's go right into it. And number 5, I really don't think a lot of people are really putting the Baltimore Ravens as one of the top drafts. I haven't seen that anywhere, but I'm going to put the Baltimore Ravens at number 5 as one of these draft winners in this draft. They started off with a 25th overall pick, Marquise Brown, the first wide receiver taken in this draft out of Oklahoma. A lot of people thought that would be the case, and you know what, I could have went AJ Brown here, but Marquise Brown probably fits their scheme a little bit more. They need a downhill, just a speedy receiver. They've been very successful with those kind of speedy receivers in the past, so I could see their mindset there with Marquise Brown. Then you look at round 3, they were able to get Jalen Ferguson, and Jalen Ferguson isn't my favorite edge rusher in this draft. You guys know I'm very critical of Jalen Ferguson, but they could use the help. They went in round 3 and got their guy, their edge rusher. I like the pick. Then moving on, Miles Boykin, the other wide receiver out of Notre Dame. So pairing up 2 wide receivers there, that's a big need. See, the Baltimore Ravens are a sleeper team next year, and they're really a team that doesn't have a really bad needy needy roster. They don't really need a lot of positions. They need wide receivers, they need edge rushers, maybe some offensive linemen, and they pretty much addressed that here in this draft. They got 2 wide receivers, 2 good wide receivers. Miles Boykin out of Notre Dame is a go and get it type guy, very tall receiver as well. I believe he's 6'4", so very good pick there for the Baltimore Ravens. On top of that, they get a guard here, Ben Powers out of Oklahoma. You know, Oklahoma had a lot of good offensive linemen, and if you could grab up an offensive lineman from Oklahoma, you're pretty much set. And then Dalen Mack, the defensive tackle out of Texas A&M, I really like. He was right next to Kingsley Keke, and he's a pretty good player, and I like that pick there. On top of that, I just want to throw this in there, round 6, they chose Trace McSorley, the quarterback out of Penn State. I don't think Trace McSorley is really going to do too much, but if he needs to fill in for Lamar Jackson or something like that, or something happens, I think he'll be just fine there. And he's a guy that a lot of teams want to work out at defensive back, so maybe they find something with Trace McSorley as a position switch, but that is my number 5, the Baltimore Ravens. Next up at number 4, I have the Tennessee Titans, and boy, did I just love this draft. I would rank it a little bit higher, but I just love other drafts more, and just because they better the team more. But this is going to impact the team a lot. You start off with Jeffrey Simmons at pick 19. What a move there. I mean, I was applauding that pick for, I don't know, maybe a whole minute that they picked Jeffrey Simmons. It was a fantastic pick. I thought they were going to go 3 technique as well. I'm one of the few people that said, listen, they're going to go 3 technique in here. They've been looking for a 3 tech for a while, and there are some guys there that could fall there that do belong on the Tennessee Titans. I said I said that they were going to pick up a Christian Wilkins. I thought they were going to pick up Christian Wilkins. I think Wilkins went before this. But that being said, Jeffrey Simmons, fantastic pick there. And then you look at AJ Brown in round 2. What fantastic value there. A lot of people thought AJ Brown would go in the first to Tennessee. They wound up picking him up in the second. Fantastic pick there. Great addition there. He might be the number 1 wide receiver, and Corey Davis might take that number 2 spot. On top of that, you got Adam Humphries, Taywan Taylor, Tajay Sharp there. That wide receiver core is stacked. So very good pick there by the Tennessee Titans. Then we move on to the 3rd round. They got Nate Davis, the guard out of North Carolina, Charlotte, I believe. Good pick there. They need some offensive line help, and they addressed that. Quentin Spain left. I believe they got Roger Saffold there, but he is older. He's an older guard, so they might need to replace him pretty soon. They got Nate Davis here in the 3rd round. And then Amani Hooker, I do like, out of Iowa, so great pick there. And what about the pick, DeAndre Walker, the edge rusher out of Georgia? They need another edge rusher. I've been saying this for a while. Yes, they had Cameron Wake there and Harold Landry, but they really don't have too much depth there at edge rusher, and DeAndre Walker should be a great rotational pass rusher for them moving forward. And then David Long as that 6th round pick, the linebacker out of West Virginia. So what a draft the Tennessee Titans have. They're going to get fantastic value, fantastic production out of that draft class. So then now we move on to number 3. Number 3, we have the Washington Redskins. Now, I'm not going to be biased in this. You know, I could have also put Philadelphia in as one of the honorable mentions because they had a pretty good draft as well, but I didn't want to put too many honorable mentions in there. Otherwise, I'd say everybody had a good draft. So I just kind of went with my favorites there, but they're definitely close to being honorable mention. Philadelphia is. But we have another rival. We have the Washington Redskins. I'm going to put them up as having one of the best drafts. They had a fantastic draft. You look at Dwayne Haskins, yes, there's a bunch of controversy going on around right now with quarterbacks and things like that, and the Redskins and Daniel Jones and the Giants and things like that. But all that being said, Dwayne Haskins went exactly where he should have gone, 15th overall, not 10th, not 7th, not 6th, not anywhere in the top 5. I think this is exactly where you should have picked him up. Dwayne Haskins, I think he's going to be a pretty good quarterback. He will start. If he does start, I know Case Keenum is there, but he may win that job. Dwayne Haskins will, and he'll survive. He'll be fine. He'll develop into a good quarterback. You may have found your franchise quarterback for the next coming years. He won't be happy because he wants to be a Giant, but that is what you're going to get from Dwayne Haskins, and I love it there. Montez Sweat. Say what you want about Montez Sweat. He's very overrated, but as a first-round pick, 26th overall, that's pretty good value in my opinion. On top of that, he's not going to come in and be that number 1 edge rusher for you. Ryan Kerrigan is there. Montez Sweat really fed off of Kingsley Keke, Dalen Mack, and Jeffrey Simmons. A bunch of those guys in there really fed off of them, and he was able to clean up the tackles, clean up the sacks, and that's how we got his production. Montez Sweat is going to do the exact same here. You have Jonathan Allen, Matt Ioannidis, you have Deron Payne, you have Ryan Kerrigan. That front 7 is stacked. Montez Sweat is not the number 1 threat, not even the number 2 or 3 threat there at the Washington Redskins, so he is going to thrive there in Washington. You then move on. What a smart pick to have your franchise quarterback, and then you go out in round 3 and draft one of his favorite targets in Terry McLaurin, the wide receiver out of Ohio State, another track star that they have there at Ohio State. They wound up picking him up here. It's going to be like another Ryan Grant type player. He is going to... That chemistry is already there with Dwayne Haskins, and I just think it was a great pick there by Washington. On top of that, round 4, they pick up Bryce Love, the running back out of Stanford. Oh my God, this running game for Washington is looking so scary right now. It is looking really, really scary. If they could stay healthy, I know Washington has always had good running backs, but they can never stay healthy. If they could stay healthy, I'm not sure if they still have Rob Kelly, but you're looking at Rob Kelly, you're looking at Adrian Peterson, you're looking at Darius Geis, you're looking at Chris Thompson, and then you have Bryce Love. Oh my gosh, that is a fantastic rotation, absolutely fantastic rotation. Then they got themselves a guard, Wes Martin out of Indiana, Ross Pierschbacher, the center out of Alabama. And at round 6, I don't know why he fell this far, but he was one of my favorite receivers in this draft. Wide receiver KELVIN Harmon out of North Carolina State. Oh my gosh, out of NC State, what a pick there. I mean, he's going to be better than Josh Doctson. I'm telling you right now, and you got him for a 6th-round pick. He's going to be better than Josh Doctson. Top of that, you got Jimmy Moreland, one of these sleeper cornerbacks in this draft out of James Madison. I mean, they're going to get so much production out of this draft. It's going to be unreal. This draft is going to be the reason why this team makes the playoffs for years to come. It's going to be these guys. These guys are going to develop and be something great. So, we then move on to number 2. Number 2. As if the saying, the rich got richer, can't get any more relatable than to the New England Patriots. It's often used for the Golden State Warriors when they added KD, when they added DeMarcus Cousins. Yes, but in the NFL, it's the New England Patriots. You never ever see the New England Patriots come out with a very good draft, and they're still Super Bowl contenders every single year. Now they won the Super Bowl, and they had a good draft. I mean, you have to have them going back to the Super Bowl at this point. Everybody they're talking about the New England Patriots draft, but you're not seeing how great this draft is. I mean, you guys know I just talked about the Washington Redskins draft and how great it was. This one's even better, okay? We look at in the first round, I thought they're going to trade out of there, maybe get Josh Rosen and trade for Josh Rosen, things like that. No, not in this case. They're going to get N'Keal Harry, the wide receiver out of Arizona State. Now, I'm not the hugest fan. I kind of like KELVIN Harmon a little bit more than N'Keal Harry. But N'Keal Harry is a go-and-get-it receiver. I know Tom Brady's going to do something with him. They always take these receivers and make them into something great. So I have no doubt in my mind that N'Keal Harry is going to thrive in the New England Patriots system. Top of that, they go in round 2. They needed some cornerback help. They went and they really need some cornerback help. At one point, they had J.C. Jackson starting for them in the Super Bowl. So they had to go out and get Joe Juan Williams, the cornerback out of Vanderbilt. I'm sure Skip Bayless is very happy about that. Then you look at round 3. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. They get rid of Trey Flowers, and you're like, well, who's going to rush the passer besides Michael Bennett? Chase freaking Winovich. Chase Winovich out of Michigan. And I know Rich Eisen's very happy about that because he's a Michigan fan and a Patriots fan. Chase Winovich, the edge rusher out of Michigan, going to the New England Patriots. Oh my God, what a pick there. I mean, A+, A++ pick there. He is going to thrive there in New England. Then you look at round 3. Yes, they have a couple of good running backs. They just drafted Sony Michel, and he actually changed that whole offense for them last year. And why not get a whole New Orleans Saints type system in there, Green Bay Packers type system in there, and get multiple running backs to rotate in there. And Damian Harris, the running back out of Alabama, who was the starter in Alabama but was not the first drafted. It was Josh Jacobs, but Damian Harris is no joke either. He's pretty good as well. And round 3, great value for that running back. Then you look at round 3, the other third-round pick, Yodny Kajust, one of my favorite tackles, one of my favorite pass-blocking tackles in this draft. I thought Andre Williams and Yodny Kajust were top of my line as far as pass blocking tackles were on my draft board because they're so athletic. Yodny Kajust is so athletic. The guy has the body of a tight end. He can keep up with the best of them. He is going to be a very good tackle for the New England Patriots. I don't know where they're going to put him at yet, right or left. He may fit more at the left tackle spot, but we'll see with that. So they just had a great draft. And then in the 4th round, they picked up Jarrett Stidham, the quarterback out of Auburn. Maybe he's the next quarterback for the Patriots. He looks very likely. He has a lot of stuff to work on, but he can definitely work and learn behind the best of all time, and that's Tom Brady. So great job there by the New England Patriots. I hate the Patriots, guys. Everybody knows this. You guys are probably disliking the video and commenting, saying, but Kid Blue, you hate the Patriots. You always talk about the Patriots. Listen, you have to give respect to where respect is due. That was a fantastic draft. You just won the Super Bowl, and you had a draft like that. I mean, you can't get any better than that. So let's go on to my favorite draft of the 2019 draft. And guys, oh my gosh, this draft, I'm telling you, this is no exaggeration. This is a bold prediction. This draft right here by the Arizona Cardinals may take them from the number 1 overall pick. They might be a playoff contender this year. Now, a lot of people aren't loving the Arizona's draft because they gave up their future franchise quarterback for another future franchise quarterback. I get that, but it was still an upgrade. I think Kyler Murray is miles ahead of better than Josh Rosen. Yes, was it unnecessary for them to take Kyler Murray and trade Josh Rosen, especially what they got for him? Yes, it was a little unnecessary to do that. But Kyler Murray is an instant upgrade there. He automatically gives that team another 3 to 4 wins. I'm calling it right now. He gives that team another 3 to 4 wins. And on top of that, in the 2nd round, you got the best corner in the draft in Byron Murphy. He won't even be the best corner on that team. You got Patrick Peterson there. So, what a duo there. On top of that, Andy Isabella is going to fit that scheme perfectly. Kyler Murray is going to be outside the pocket, looking for his receivers, looking for guys to run those drag routes, run those post routes, run all those speedy routes, and that's Andy Isabella is going to fit that scheme perfectly. He's another Julian Edelman waiting to happen. The guy is fantastic. And then in round 3, we have Zach Allen, the guy out of Boston College. He was my honorable mention in the top 5 edge rushers for me. Zach Allen is going to be a monster on the NFL level. Very good player. And you pair him up here with Chandler Jones, and it just makes that edge rush a lot better. I mean, I guess you didn't have to go so far up and get a Nick Bosa, because you could get a poor man's Nick Bosa and Zach Allen. I really love Zach Allen out of Boston College. And that's not all, guys. That's not all. The draft's not done there. In round 4, they went up and picked up Hakeem Butler, the wide receiver out of Iowa State. Everybody's comparing this guy to the next Calvin Johnson. Even Calvin Johnson said he could be the next Calvin Johnson. This guy is great. I had a 1st round grade on Hakeem Butler for a very late first. I thought the Patriots would pick him up with the 32nd pick beside N'Keal Harry. And then I had a early second on Hakeem Butler. So I love Hakeem Butler. They were able to pick him up in the 4th round. Love that pick. Then in the 5th round, they got an underrated safety, someone that was mocked to be a had a first round grade and really fell off the charts a little bit because of his production at Alabama in the later half of the season. That's Deontay Thompson, the safety out of Alabama. Another great pick to match up right next to Budda Baker. What a fantastic grab there in the 5th round. The production and value is impeccable. Then you look at the 6th round. Keyshawn Johnson, the wide receiver out of Fresno State. They're really revamping this wide receiver core for Kyler Murray. That's what they're doing. Right now they're going to just stack this wide receiver core as much as they can for Kyler Murray, give him as much weapons as they can. You can't go into the season with Chad Williams and old Larry Fitzgerald, and who else they have at wide receiver? They have a couple guys at wide receiver. And Christian Kirk. I mean, you have to revamp this wide receiver core because it's not good, and they did that with those 3 wide receivers there. They drafted a center, they drafted a tackle, so they addressed those needs. I don't know if those guys are really going to be anything. They drafted a guy in the 7th round, Caleb Wilson, the tight end of UCLA. I would have liked if they went out and drafted a wide receiver like a Dawson Knox, probably a very, a pretty good tight end to grab up for Kyler Murray, because their tight ends are pretty bad. I would have liked that, but it doesn't matter. They had the best draft of the NFL draft. I mean, by far, it was such a fit. I mean, A++. I mean, you can't get any higher than that. Great draft by the Arizona Cardinals. That is my top 5. What's your top 5 and your honorable mentions? List them down below. I want to know. Maybe mine is a little unpopular, especially with Baltimore, putting Baltimore up there. I just really like Baltimore's draft, and maybe Tennessee's as well. But I really love their draft. So leave your top 5 in the comment section below. Make sure you guys leave a like on this video and subscribe if you're new. And I will see you guys in the next video.